All right, rocking and rolling today. Welcome to the personnel board, y'all. This is the PBJC's Lunchtime Learning Blasts. My name is Pete. I'm happy to be delivering this final one for April. It seems like we were just talking about this the first week of April, and I asked my fine training team of Michael and Kim and Greg and Taria and Isla, can you guys put this out there? Can you make this happen? Can we do live webinars? And you know, this isn't for everybody. It's kind of tough. I mean, classroom stuff is really easy for us because we get the interaction. But just talking in front of a small little hole here on your computer and trying to keep you all engaged is hard. So I want to give a big shout out to them. They've done a great job this month. Go ahead and type in the chat if you would, and tell them how much you appreciate them putting their time and effort into these. Just trying to make this the best hour of your day each and every day. So thank you for being with us today. Our final topic for this month, and we may do more things like this moving forward, but coping with uncertainty. Coping with uncertainty. Are we in uncertain times right now or not? And we've done a lot of talk about stress management and about burnout. Let's talk about this concept today about the uncertainty of what's happening. We're based out of Alabama. Those of you who are watching, you know, we're based in Alabama. Some of you may be in different states where things are opening or not opening. And so we've got this very uncertain thing about what will work look like when we go back? What will movie theaters look like? What will public transportation look like? Will we all be wearing masks through the summer? You know what? So we get into this whole idea of I'm just uncertain of what's going to happen. It can be even bigger than that. People who are having health issues, people who have been furloughed or part-time or laid off or whatever. There's so much uncertainty. So we're just going to talk a little bit about it today and do the best we can to kind of motivate you in these next 15 minutes. All right, first of all, believe it or not, to some people, uncertainty is appealing. There's something about that. So for example, you know, haunted houses, scary movies, gambling, going to Vegas. You have no idea if you're coming home with money or not when you go to Vegas, but there's a lot of uncertainty that in some cases, for some of us, we get excited about. Man, I'm going to take a road trip. Wherever it leads me. I'm just going to get in the car and just go and pull over. So there's some type of appeal in some levels to the idea of uncertainty. The challenges, though, when it comes to uncertainty is, you know, it's not always exactly what we're looking for. Our challenges these days revolve around safety. So we don't mind being uncertain about going to a haunted house or seeing a scary movie or a road trip, but I don't like any uncertainty when it comes to my safety, my physical safety, my psychological safety, my family safety, my financial safety, my 401k safety. So Training 101, everybody knows about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you don't mind, type in the chat box. And those of you who just joined us, there's a chat box. Do the drop down in the chat box that says all panelists and attendees. So we all can read everybody's chats. Tell me, anybody know what the bottom layer of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is? What's the first thing we all need? I'll give you a hint. The second one is safety. Safety needs are the first need, or safety needs are the second things. What's first? Anybody remember from Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Pizza? Excellent, Jerry. Maybe it kind of ties into that. It's your physical needs. You know, so according to his 5 levels, hierarchy, motivation, all that kind of stuff, your physical needs are number 1. We need air. We need food. We need water. Thank you, Taria. We need shelter. We need all that. I need a place to live and all that. But second is going to be my safety, my physical safety, my emotional safety, my job that I can get stuff. And so when that's uncertain, when we don't know what certainty is and what's actually going on in our lives, that causes us, again, some struggles. The other problem is we can't plan for this. We can't plan. We have no idea. I live, and I'm not sure you can say, you can if I'm back far enough. I use Outlook. You all know I love Outlook. I know my team knows that I love Outlook, but I also still have my day timer, my planner. I would always constantly, when I'm working in the office, be making lists of things I have to do. It's incredible now that I'm working from home. I'm not writing as much in here because I don't know what today brings, what tomorrow brings, what the next brings, you know, so planning for what's going to happen. You can imagine we here at the personnel board, we're starting to do some planning about what is the 5-year survey going to look like this year? How are we going to do big tests? How are we going to do training classes? How can we plan for this when we don't know when we're uncertain about what the rules and regulations are, how many people can sit together in a classroom. Do we have to provide hand sanitizers? What will make people feel safe? How do we get 800 people in for a big police or fire promotional? We have to plan for this stuff, and it's uncertain right now, so it's hard to plan. It's really, really hard to plan for this. We normally deal with uncertainty by looking at our past experiences. What has happened in the past? So in the chat box, what are people trying to compare this to? We have very few things, but go ahead and type in the chat box when people say, oh, this pandemic reminds me a little bit of blank, but not really. Give me some big life events that have happened over the past years that people are trying to compare this to. Robert said the Spanish flu. Right, but that was 1918. So back in 1918, we weren't here. Some of us weren't here. We weren't here in 1918. So we don't know how to compare that. The Great Recession. Yeah, some people are saying it was, yes, to some extent, the Great Recession, but, did everything close down? I mean, we may have lost some of our money or lost our jobs, but I could still go get a meal. I could still go kind of do this. Maybe 9/11, says Kevin. Yeah, a lot of us trying to compare this to maybe 9/11, where we all got together and supported each other and all that. There's little nips and points and tucks and things like that we can sort of pull out of the air. But at the end of the day, none of us have experienced this. None of us have experienced what it's like to have our state, our businesses, or whatever, that is shut down. Schools are shut down. You can't leave your house. If you do, put on a mask. None of us have experienced this. So when you're thinking about the challenges of uncertainty, our brains aren't able to go back and compare it to exactly something else that we've experienced and we've survived. Hey, we experienced that and we survived. I was talking to my buddy John a little while ago on the phone, and he was talking about in 2 or 3 years, we're probably going to look back on this as a blip in our life. And how did we, get through that? And it was kind of cool to kind of process that. But as we move forward, if this ever happens again, heaven forbid, December comes and we're doing this again, we'll be able to understand. We'll be able to handle it better the second time because we've got an experience to kind of go with. So that's part of our challenge, is dealing with this. And this is what we're all doing right now: fight, flight, or adapt. This is just human nature for dealing with uncertainty. So here's some examples. Some of you out there are fighters, okay? I don't care what, and I got to be careful how I position this because I'm not placing a judgment value on any of these. But I don't care what happens. We're opening our stores tomorrow. We're opening our stores tomorrow. I heard some people say on the radio today, I don't care what the government order says. I don't care what they're telling me. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to wear a face mask. I don't care if I get a $500 fine. I'm not wearing a face mask. That shouldn't be. So there's this fight instinct that I'm going to fight back on certain things. That's going to happen. Then there's the flight, which is the exact opposite, which is I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to be in my home, locked down. Kids cannot go outside to play. I'm using Shipt for all my groceries. I'm washing my hands 1,000,000 times a day. I want to be, let me know when it's safe to sort of come out. Then in the middle is where, again, all of us probably should try to land, which is adapt. What's happening tomorrow? What can I do and what can't I do? What is the next normal? What's it going to look like? And how are we going to actually adapt to this? I think a lot about, again, you all know I worked at Disney. I'm thinking a lot about my friends down at Disney who are either furloughed and what's that going to look like? And you're going to get a lot of this. This isn't what it used to be. It's only used to be a lot more fun. What do you mean I can't hug a character? I used to be able to, I can't go to the movies like I used to. What do you mean I've got to spray myself down or go through? There's all these new things we're going to have to adapt to. Wear a mask all day at work? That's going to give me a rash. I'm going to file a lawsuit because, well, I'm not sure this is going to be the next normal. And whatever it is, we're going to have to figure it out. Greg makes a great point. We're going to build this airplane while it's in flight. It's up and going, and we're going to have to adjust. So my point today is, don't be afraid of the uncertainty. The uncertainty is normal. These feelings that we have of stress are normal. And so we just have to kind of be able to be a little more on the adapting side. So I'm going to finish up today with just 3 quick tips. A couple of ideas that might be able to help you as we're moving forward over the next, days, weeks, months, whatever it may be. Number 1, I think the key we have to do is we have to choose action. We have to choose action because here's a couple things we can do. Number 1 is we don't take any action and we live in the wait and see moment. All right, personnel board, we're going to stand back. We're going to wait and see what the city is going to do. City stands back and goes, hang on, let's see when the county's going to open. All these other restaurants go, hold on, let's wait and see what happens when other restaurants open. The zoo's going to say, hold on, let's wait and see till McWayne Science Center opens. Let's see it. And we sort of stand back in sort of a wait and see, and then we'll come on out. I don't know. There might be some safety in that, in the wait and see point, but you're also making your decisions based on what others do. Now, the other side of that, which is the far end, is all in. You know, bet the farm. This is where you go gambling and just push all your chips in. Okay, we're going to open on this date, and you don't got to wear a mask if you don't want to come in here. And we got if you want them, you don't have them. Whatever. What's your safety policy? Policy? We don't have a policy. Who cares? Get in here. It's on the consumer. You know, and you're like, yeah, that seems a little off too. So I think, and I actually wrote this down, considered and decisive responses. I think that's going to be a great action to take. Some from over here, some from over here, some from both sides. You know, what I want to make a decisive decision, but I want to make it very considered. I want to make it very calculated. I want to take all the information that I can take and do. And this is for your job. This is for your family. This is for when you go back to church. This is when you decide to go out to eat. I mean, and so take an action and kind of decide what you're going to do, but really be processing that. Second thing, and this is just my opinion, this is not based on any type of study, but I think we have to prepare for the long haul. I'm as excited as everybody else that, you know, May 15th is coming, you know, and that means life's getting back to normal. In fact, we went into the personnel board today. We're testing doing virtual board meetings. So we had a bunch of us in there, and some were wearing masks, and then some were, we were in the city limits of Birmingham, so we all were wearing masks. But when we took our masks down to talk, we talked about how long I think that we're going to have to wear masks. And a couple people said probably through the summer. And a few people in the room raised their eyebrows and were like, through the summer, through June, July. That's not going to surprise me. How long is social distancing going to be into effect? How long are airlines going to decide not to sell middle seats? I think we're kind of fooling ourselves if we're like, this is going to be fixed in a week. And what happens with the uncertainty is now when it doesn't get back to what our expectations are, we start getting more stressed. We start, well, I wanted to get back to what it was instead of thinking of the next normal. So I think from a mental perspective, we need to be ready for the long haul. In fact, there was a Harvard study that was done that said social distancing may be in effect through 2022. That's a long time for us to be 6 feet apart. And for grocery stores, have you all experienced the grocery stores yet where they've got the things on the ground? I know Publix does this. They've got wrong way signs and all of that. And, you know, you've got the rebels, the people who fight, who are like, I don't care. I'm going down this. I just need the spices. I need the spices. I'm going there. And everybody else gives them the whole stink eye because you're like, you're coming in the wrong way, but can you enforce it and all of that? You know, I'll be glad when they take those things out of the grocery stores. Are they going to ever take those things out of the grocery stores now? I mean, we just don't know. So if you are sitting here waiting for the way it used to be, you're bound to be disappointed. It's going to change. So we need to prepare for the long haul, mentally and physically, be ready. And then the last thing I think that will help us deal with uncertainty, y'all, is change our mindset from uncertainty to exploratory. Uncertainty to exploratory. So everything that comes up that we're uncertain about, that we think, man, which direction is this going to go in? Man, I don't think of it less as I'm uncertain and it's causing me stress, and reprocess it into, let's explore the new possibilities that can come out of this. What are the cool new things about being in a grocery store and only going one way? What are the cool new things about going to Disney when it's less crowded? What will be, you know, the cool new thing? I mean, so this is a great time for us at the personnel board. We've been talking in all our leadership meetings. What does virtual training look like? You know, we've done study after study with our local government employees, and we've asked them, do you like e-learning? Do you want virtual classrooms? And it always comes back no, because our government employees love to come to the Spark Learning Center. They love the personal interaction. They love working together. They love the group dialogue. They love it. So we've never really ventured into stuff like this. Well, we don't have a choice now. We don't have a choice, because if we sit around and wait till it's okay for everybody to come back, we may fall behind on providing you all with the learning and development that you need. So instead of just being uncertain and going, I don't know when we're going to get back, I don't know when we're going to open the floor, I don't know what the rooms are going to look like, we're exploring. What could it be? Can we use Zoom? Can we use GoToMeeting? Can we record these webinars? How do we do it? Will people start liking it? There's all kinds of neat things that kind of come out. I agree, Gigi. The Spark Learning Center is the place to be. We love, it's the relationships and the personal interactions and all that, but we've got to start shifting our mindset to what could we do? I know we got a lot of people who work in testing. How can we use this in testing? How can we use it in employee relations? Those of you who work in the private sector, what are some new things you can do? So use these uncertain times to think of new ways to run your business, new customers you could get. Don't forget, great explorers, we're also uncertain. I'm uncertain as I cross over the big river between America and Europe, whatever that river's called. I'm very uncertain what's going, but I'm exploring it. I was an ocean, apparently, yes. Disasters breed innovation. Great point, Jerry. I mean, our backs are against the wall now. So yeah, those are the three things that I just wanted to share with you. One, choose action. Don't choose inaction, and don't choose, everybody coming in. Just choose action of being very calculated. Two, get ready for the long haul. Don't set your mind that I can't wait until this happens, because this may not ever happen. So strap yourself in. It's better to think that it's going to be this way for a couple of years and then come back and go, man, we did that a lot faster, than saying, why isn't this being done right now? Inaction is making a choice. Good point, Billy. Good point. And finally, think of all these new things you're doing right now as we're exploring. We're exploring. Yeah, yes, we're uncertain, but what are some good things that can come out of this? So those were your three tips. We had 19 of you on today. It looks like some people maybe from Florida. I don't know how you got in here, but glad to have you. Toby, T. Howard's here. Glad to have you all. Like I said, this is the last one that we're going to do. If you missed any of them in April, they are all recorded. They are all located on My Merit Matters. So if you go to meritmatters.org, every single webinar we did is recorded. They're about 15 minutes long. Or go to our Facebook page, PBJC Training and Development, or maybe it's Personnel Board Training and Development. It's on our Facebook. They're all recorded. They're on there as well. Share them with your coworkers. Share them with people at work. Some of the topics might have interested you. Some of them may not have. We did everything from stress reduction, being productive at home, mental health, using apps, exercise, staying connected, leadership tips. We had a little bit of everything. So this has been fun, and we'll probably be doing a lot more things like this coming up. So anyhow, hang in there. In the little chat, tell everybody to have a good day so we can go out with the big, hey, everybody, have a great May. Chuck says, thanks for the quick connects for a productive lunch hour. Thank you for, they're just 15 minutes long. We've enjoyed doing them. We really have. Happy May Day. May the 4th is coming up for the Star Wars fans. So that's pretty exciting. So again, go back, revisit these if you need them, look at them. They'll be on our website. And you'll be seeing us a lot more really soon. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. We'll talk to you again soon.